Hi, welcome back. My name is Brittany, and today I have a really fun book haul for you. My local library does sales every month, every few months, frequently throughout the year, and I scored big time. So this whole bag is full of books, and I got them for $5. Basically, the first time you purchase the bag, it's $20, and then you bring your bag back, and you can fill it up for $5. And I have like $200 worth of books right here. And I feel like I scored really well. So I wanted to show you everything I got. I will end up doing one more book haul for 2025, but I just felt like this was a good enough haul to just showcase itself. And yeah, let's just like go through all these books. I was like so excited. I haven't been to one of these in forever. And like I'll show you the first book I saw and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good one. And then I haven't really been working out lately because I had a baby and I had to carry this up the stairs. I was like, damn, that's a lot of books. So let's dig into what I got. So the first book I saw was The Farm, and this is by Joanne Ramos. And this is about a pregnancy farm. Basically, in New York Hudson Valley, there's a luxury retreat with organic meals, personal trainers, daily massages. In fact, you're paid to stay here, but for 9 months you can't leave, and you're cut off from your former life because you are producing the perfect baby for someone else. And this is following Jane, an immigrant from the Philippines, who is now pregnant on the farm. And we will see how she handles being on the farm because you can't leave. And if she does, she will lose the life-changing fee that she will receive on the delivery of her child. It says it pushes to the extremes are thinking on motherhood, money, and the merit, and raises crucial questions about the trade-offs women will make to fortify their futures and the futures of those they love. So I saw this kind of over the last year. I've gone through a bunch of like pregnancy motherhood books, and I saw this one, instantly caught my attention, and so I was so excited to just like find this in the wrong spot on the shelves at this book sale. So I was so pumped. I felt like that's a good omen when you like walk into a book sale and you immediately like clock what you've been looking for. Like, oh, it's the best. Next up, I found Recursion by Blake Crouch. I have only read one Blake Crouch book, and that was Dark Matter years and years and years ago. And I just would like to continue reading his books. This one is following a cop named Barry in New York City, and he is investigating the devastating phenomenon that the media has dubbed the false memory syndrome, a mysterious affliction that drives its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. That sounds good enough for me. I'm sold. Next, I found The Ruins by Scott Smith, and this is taking place in Mexico. Basically, The Ruins follows two American couples enjoying a lazy beach holiday, and they go to some Mayan ruins. It's interesting, like, as far as, like, the quality of the books, there's writing on the, I don't know, the sides. It obviously has, like, the library clear jacket and some stuff inside. This was withdrawn because the spine was breaking. I don't really appreciate that much damage, but I would feel like still for hardcover, like all these books were probably like 50 cents, like to equal $5, you know? So I'm fine with that. But yeah, this is about a couple of Americans who go to some Mayan ruins, and I'm betting they don't make it out alive. And I'm pretty sure this is a movie too. I looked into this book once before because we were going to Mexico, but I thought that might not be a smart idea to read a horror about a place we're going. So I'm not going to Mexico anytime soon, so I feel safe to like read about it and not freak myself out. The next book I picked up and found was With Teeth. And this is by Kristen Arnett. She is the author of Mostly Dead Things. I have a reading vlog on that from last year, I believe. And that was just like a fucking weird book. But like the longer I sit with it, the more I really enjoyed it. That one, real quick, is about a woman who takes over her family's taxidermy business after her father commits suicide. And so everyone is struggling with grief in their own way. She is sleeping with her brother's wife, and then their mom is making like lewd pornographic art with the taxidermy animals. It's so weird, but I like can't stop thinking about it. So when I saw another book by her, I was pretty excited because I've looked at this one in stores as well. This is following a woman, and if she's being honest, she is scared of her son. She lives with one wary eye on Samson, a sullen, unknowable boy who resists her every attempt to bond with him. Uncertain of her own maternal instincts, she tries her best, driving, cooking, cleaning, prodding him to finish projects for school, while growing increasingly resentful of Monica, her confident but absent wife. As Samson grows from feral toddler to surly teenager, Sammy's life begins to deteriorate into a mess of unruly behavior, and her struggle to create a picture-perfect queer family unravels. When her son's hostility finally spills over into physical aggression, Sammy must confront her role in the mess, and the possibility that the answers may be beyond her reach. I just think that sounds interesting. I hope it's as weird as Mostly Dead Things. That's what I'm looking for. I also found The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. I have read this book. This is the only book out of a stack that I have read, but I enjoyed this one so much when I read it last year. I wanted to have my own copy. So this is following our main character, Frida. She is a Chinese immigrant. She's an older mom in life, and she has a very bad day. She essentially abandons her toddler. She leaves her in one of those little, I'm staring at it. They sit in it, and sometimes they move around, or the fucking toy kid thing. I don't have words anymore. Anyways, she leaves her toddler unattended in this kid seat thing. Is intending to just run to the office, grab something, but ends up being gone for hours, and OCS gets called on her. But in this world, OCS is on crack. They are on a different level. So she ends up getting her kid taken away from her for this event, and cannot for the life of her get her child back. So she ends up going to the School for Good Mothers. That is what is essentially sentenced for her. And this school is whack. What happens here is absolutely nuts, very dystopian, and it really just looks at what makes a good and bad mom, because some of the things that get people into this school are just wild. I don't know if even the best mom in the world would be safe from this child protective services in this world. And there's a weird sci-fi-ish twist that kind of comes into play as far as how the mothers are learning to be good mothers. And there's also a school for the fathers, and they basically just compare the different duties, and I don't know, there's a lot of obvious parallels to real life between mother and fathers and just the standards that they're held to. So I really liked this. I was excited to see it at the sale, so I got her to add to my shelves. Next up, I got Animal by Lisa Tadeo. I don't know what this is about, but I have seen this recommended so many times. So this is following Joan, and she has spent a lifetime enduring the cruelties of men. When one of them commits a shocking act of violence in front of her, she flees New York City in search of Alice, the only person alive who can help her make sense of the past. In the sweltering hills above Los Angeles, Joan unravels a horrific event she witnessed as a child that has haunted her every waking moment while forging the power to finally strike back. This is a depiction of feminine rage at its rawest. Tadeo illustrates one woman's exhilarating transformation from prey into predator. I think that sounds great. Next up, I found Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. She has also been on my watch list for a while as an author I'd like to get to. This is following Rachel, a lapsed Jew who has made calorie restriction her religion. By day, she maintains the illusion of existential control through obsessive food rituals while working as an underling at an LA talent management agency, but at night she pedals nowhere on the elliptical machine. She's content to carry on subsisting until her therapist encourages her to take a 90-day communication detox from her mother, who raised her in the tradition of calorie counting. Soon she meets someone named Miriam, a young Orthodox Jewish woman who works at her favorite frozen yogurt shop and is intent upon feeding her. Rachel is suddenly and powerfully entranced by Miriam, by her Sundays and her body, her faith in her family, and as the two grow closer, Rachel embarks on a journey marked by mirrors, mysticism, mothers, milk, and honey. Broder tells a tale of appetites, physical hunger, sexual desire, spiritual longing, and the way that we humans try to compartmentalize these often interdependent instincts. I think this sounds really interesting. As a young girl, I definitely had my own issues with calorie counting and body image, and so it'll be interesting to see how this is depicted. We're thankfully past that now, and this just kind of makes me want some frozen yogurt. Next up, I found The Far Field by Madhuri Vile. Isn't this cover just so pretty? This was really a cover buy, but it does sound very interesting. This is following one woman's young search for a lost figure from her childhood, a journey that carries her from southern India to Kashmir and to the brink of a devastating political and personal reckoning. So after her mother's death, she sets out for a remote Himalayan village in the turbulent northern region of Kashmir. Certain that the loss of her mother is somehow connected to the decade-old disappearance of a charming Kashmiri salesman who frequented her childhood home, she's determined to track him down. But as soon as Shalini arrives, she's confronted with Kashmir's politics as well as the tangled history of a local family that takes her in. As life in the village turns volatile and old hatreds threaten to erupt into violence, Shalini finds herself forced to make a series of choices that could hold dangerous repercussions for the people she's come to love. I am really hoping for some beautiful, just like Indian imagery, like landscape. That's not a place I read about often, so I did think that sounded really interesting. I found 2 T. Kingfisher books, A House with Good Bones and Thornhedge. T. Kingfisher is kind of like not hit or miss necessarily, but like I'll enjoy something and not enjoy something, enjoy something and not enjoy something. So I do want to keep reading her books, though, just to find out like what style she writes that I enjoy. But A House with Good Bones, Mom seems off. Probably because she's tired. That's me. Her brother's words echo in Sam Montgomery's ear as she turns onto the quiet North Carolina street where their mother lives alone. She brushes the thought away as she climbs the front steps. Sam's excited for this rare extended visit and looking forward to nights with just the 2 of them, drinking boxed wine, watching murder mysteries, and guessing who the killer is long before the characters figure it out. I actually had my mom over and she was helping with the baby, and like she definitely like clocked who the killer was like immediately. I was like, oh, I didn't really put that together. Like she figured it out. Stepping inside the home, Sam quickly realizes that home isn't what it used to be. Gone is a warm, cluttered charm her mom is known for. Now the walls are painted sterile white. Her mom jumps at the smallest noises and looks over her shoulder even when she's the only person in the room. And when Sam steps back to clear her head, she finds a jar of teeth hidden behind a magazine-worthy rose bush, and vultures are circling the garden above. To find out what's got her mom so frightened in her own home, Sam will go digging for the truth. But some secrets are better left and buried. I think that sounds great. One thing T. Kingfisher is really good at is her horror writing. I haven't officially read one of her horror novels, but I did read A Sorceress Comes to Call, and there is a lot of horrifying, dark imagery in that book with some like fantasy. So I'm interested to see how this shapes up. And then Thornhedge seems more like fairy tale-esque. There's a princess trapped in a tower, but this isn't her story. So this is following Toadling. On the day of her birth, she was stolen from her family by the fairies, but she grew up safe and loved in the warm waters of fairyland. Once an adult, though, the Fae ask a favor of Toadling, return to the human world and offer a blessing of protection to a newborn child. Simple, right? But nothing with fairies is ever simple. Centuries later, Anna approaches a towering wall of brimbles, where the thorns are as thick as your arm and as sharp as swords. But he's heard there's a curse that needs breaking. But it's a curse Toadling will do anything to uphold. Dun dun dun. Oh, that's cute. I noticed looking at these two are like the only books that didn't have like the library like stuff on them. So I wonder if, I think they take donations for their book sales. So that's kind of cool. Like, I mean, this is $20. So I feel like I really scored. This one sounds more like I mentioned fairy tale-esque, and that's another genre T. Kingfisher really writes in as well. So I'm excited just to see her other works. This was the only soft paperback I found, The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. She has also been on my radar as an author to check out. This is following June in Casper, North Carolina. The Farrow women are known for their thriving flower farm. Thriving flower farm. Say that like 6 times fast. And for the mysterious curse that has plagued their family line. The whole town remembers the madness that led to Susanna Farrow's disappearance, leaving her daughter June to be raised by her grandmother and haunted by rumors. It's been a year since June started seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Faint wind chimes, a voice calling her name, and a mysterious door appearing out of nowhere. Signs of what June has always known is coming. But June is determined to end the curse once and for all, even if she must sacrifice the love and hope in a family of her own. After her grandmother's death, June discovers a series of cryptic clues regarding her grandmother's disappearance, except these only lead to more questions. But what could the door she once assumed was a Okay. But could the door she once assumed was a hallucination be the answer she's been looking for? The next time it appears, June realizes she can touch it and walk through the threshold. And when she does, she embarks on a journey that will not only change both the past and the future, but also uncover the lingering mysteries of her small town. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Like, you think you're going crazy, but then you're like, actually, no, I'm not. I do actually have this book on a little bit of a TBR I've been trying to throw together for October, November, December. I'm structuring that a little bit differently, just being a new mom, but I'm hoping to pick this up in the next few months. I think that'd be really cool. And it does sound like a good fall time read, so excited to find it. Last two, I found Creation Lake by Rachel Kushner. I'll be honest, this is a book I have seen so many times over the years, so I just grabbed it, kind of forgot what it's about. There's so many books that I like know I want to read, and like at one point I was like, I knew everything about it, but then time goes by and I lost it. So this is about a secret agent, a 34-year-old American woman of, wait, what? Oh, this is a Booker Prize finalist. Interesting. That's cool. I like haven't really had a chance to read any of the Booker Prize nominees, but I do really enjoy the Booker Prize as an experience. Okay, so Sadie Smith is how the narrator introduces herself, because she is a secret agent. She is living in the commune of the French Subversaries. Subversaries? I don't know what that means. Of the French something on whom she's keeping tabs, and to her lover Lucien, a young and well-born Parisian she is met by cold bump, making him believe the encounter was accidental. Like everyone she targets, Lucien is useful to her and used by her. Sadie operates by strategy and dissimulation based on what her contacts, shadowy figures in business and government, instruct. First, these contacts want her to incite provocation. Then they want more. In the region of old farms and prehistoric caves, Sadie becomes entranced by a mysterious figure named Bruno Lacombe, a mentor to the young activists who believe the path to emancipation is not revolt, but to return to an ancient past. Just as Sadie is certain she's a seductress and the puppet master of those she surveils, Bruno is seducing her with his ingenious counter-histories, his artful laments, and his own tragic story. Interesting. I guess that was definitely not what I thought this was about. Clearly, I didn't remember any of that, but I thought this was more murder mystery just based on the cover, but it does also sound very interesting. I haven't read a good spy story in a long time, so yeah. And then lastly, this was one I had not, well, let me back up. I have not heard of this book before, but I've heard of the author, Haruki Murakami, and I couldn't pass up looking at a hardcover to fill the bag up. Like, it was such a good deal. What caught me was this book is about dreams. So we have a nameless young couple, a boy and girl, teenagers in love, which, first of all, I didn't tell you what this is called. I do love unnamed narrators in our books, but this is called, oh, it's covered on like both sides. Hang on. Oh, this is called The City and Its Eternal Walls. No, The City and Its Uncertain Walls. There we go. Got it. One day, the girl tells a boy about a mysterious town surrounded by a high wall. In that town, she tells him her real self resides, and if the boy can manage to come along, she might not recognize him, but he would find his own place. He could be a dream reader each night reading old dreams. He isn't sure if he should believe her, but then one day she disappears, and her absence haunts him for the rest of his life. Thus begins a search for his lost love that takes the man into middle age on a journey between the real world and the other world, a town where unicorns roam, where a gatekeeper determines who can enter and who must remain behind, and where shadows become untethered from themselves. Yeah, that was kind of really what just got me, this like dreamland. And this is translated from the Japanese, which is cool. That is the book haul. I feel like it was a great stack. Was so happy to have made it. Out of these books, let me know down below which one you're most excited for me to check out, or if you've read any of them and you're like, this book's incredible, let me know so I can bump that up on the list. Otherwise, I hope you are having a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!